Good afternoon. Well, before spoiling this lovely sunshine on this glorious day with talking, let me just invite you to bask in the sunshine. Just listen and look. Feel all these gifts around us. One of the questions that used to bother me was, what on earth are angels? And then one day, when I was quietly in my own field on the farm, just really like this, just looking at what's around me, I realized that angels are those things that do the will of God. In other words, they just do what comes naturally. The wind blows and clouds move, don't they? And the leaves sway in the wind. You see, that's an angelic action. And everything in nature responds in this way. So what is not angelic? Perhaps that's a better question than what is angelic. What is not angelic? And of course the answer is me. It's this problematic creature, man, who thinks he knows better, who's got his own version of what life is all about. What's the right thing to do? Oh dear, oh dear. You know, all these spiritual questions, they're just so simple. They're so marvellously simple. And do you know what? I remember many years ago a most marvellous answer given to me as to what is God. God is utter simplicity. So what is not God? And once again, the answer just comes to this silly ass sitting in front of you. Oh dear, oh dear. Man, what is man? A problem. But just coming back again to your comments, and another question I felt from a rather an agonized young man. What am I meant to be doing in this life? What's it for? Well, I assure you, my dear, I spent half my life asking the same question, and it's only now in the blessed state of old age that I feel confident enough to at least give you some sort of an answer. Well, perhaps it's just to become more like the angels, is it? Or, to put it in more conventional biblical language, to save your soul. Let's just consider what's meant by that, because I remember as children we used to laugh at this, that this was something that just, well, we didn't take it seriously. But look, this life's going to end, isn't it? And we've all got this coronavirus around now to remind us, if we weren't aware of it before, that man is a very mortal creature, likely to be swept off by at any moment. We never know. At any time, and especially as you get older, any hour, any day may be our last. So we need to be prepared. And this life can very sensibly be considered as a preparation, as a preparatory life, like we go to a preparatory school. We prepare for what comes next. And if we don't prepare, well, who knows? We may not be as well off as those who have prepared. To save one's soul, what does I mean by that? Well, I keep bringing you back to this presence. Feet on the floor, bottom on the chair, listen and look, and you become aware of this still presence, these invisible arms that are holding us. Now, everything in life changes except this. Lovely days like this don't last very long. I expect it'll be raining tomorrow. So make the most of it, but there's something that doesn't change, and that's this invisible presence, the spirit. Now, to become acquainted with spirit in this life is unquestionably, no doubt many people will question it, but is a very advisable thing to do. And then when things get tough, as they will and do, you've got something to hang on to, an unshakable rock. Even though it's invisible, the more you become acquainted with it, the stronger and the more certain it becomes. And when the time comes to lay down this mortal life, as it surely will, you can go forth with confidence. And I repeat that, to die with confidence and even with joy in your heart that you're going home. And it reminds me of another question of a lady this time who said, I just want to go home. How can I go home? Well, my dear, just work. Work at becoming familiar with what I'm talking about. This invisible presence, which unfortunately most people go through life in complete ignorance of. Ignorance means ignoring the fact of its existence. It's as plain as a pikestaff when you see it. It's obvious that we're living here in this invisible, still, silent presence, which holds us as surely as the ocean holds a fish. We can never not be with it. But it's an extraordinary fact of human existence that we look down and we bury ourselves in this little thing we call the ego, me and my problems, and we simply don't see it. And we get into all our problems of separate existence simply because we miss this marvellous freedom which is calling us. Come home, it's saying, come home. This is where you belong. And this is your true life when your sojourn in this mortal flesh is over. So like we started this little video a few minutes ago, just resting in this. Talk about the best things in life being free. It's utterly free, isn't it? And it is freedom. Here now, you can just sail off like a bird into this freedom. Not like a sparrow, but like an eagle, up to the very heights. There's nothing to stop you. It's total freedom, it's total peace, it's total love, it's total life. And it never fails. And it's right here and now. You can never be closer to it than here and now. If you don't believe me, just look at me. How could I be bubbling with all this and it wasn't true? God bless you, my dears. Until tomorrow.